What's up investors, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about ReconAfrica, ticker RECAF on the OTC and RECO on the TSX Venture Exchange. This is a company that I've covered on the channel before. In fact, if you had bought into Recon after my last video, you would now be sitting over 3x up. Over the past few weeks, this stock has kept on rising and is not showing any signs of slowing down. And if you stick around to this video, I'll show you exactly how much potential is here and why this should keep on going up and up. So today we will be looking at who exactly are ReconAfrica and why they have so much potential. We will look at the very latest news, including recent drilling and more. We will look at the management team. Then we'll do some technical analysis, and finally we'll check out the latest financials and see the impact of a recent bought deal financing. Before we get into the video, if you like the content, can I ask you to smash that like button? It literally costs nothing, but it helps me out so much. Small channels like this only grow if the videos are getting likes. It shows me that you want to see more content like this, but it also helps the video get seen by showing the YouTube algorithm that viewers like this type of content. We're aiming for 150 likes on this video. Let's make it happen. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video with the potential to make you money. Again, this is 100% free and it's a great way to show your support for the channel. Make sure you watch the entire video and don't enter into any stock blindly without viewing all the information on offer. Do you think ReconAfrica is undervalued or overvalued, and what are your price targets for 6 months, 1 year or even 5 years? Leave a comment down below. I want to know what you think. I want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. At the time of this video, I do not hold a position in Recon. Now let's get into it. So Reconnaissance Energy's subsidiary ReconAfrica is a junior oil and gas company engaged in the exploration and development of oil and gas in northeast Namibia and northwest Botswana, known as the Kavango Basin. ReconAfrica holds about 90% interest in petroleum exploration license in Namibia, which covers an area of 6.3 billion acres, and based on commercial success entitles ReconAfrica to a 25-year production lease. Namibian state oil company Namcor holds the remaining 10% interest. And they also have a 100% interest in the petroleum exploration rights in Botswana that covers an area of 2.2 acres and entitles ReconAfrica again to a 25-year production license over any commercial discovery. The survey and analysis confirmed that Kavango Basin reaches depths of up to 30,000 feet and is anticipated to hold an active petroleum system. ReconAfrica is required to pay Namibian corporation tax of 35%, and in Botswana, royalties range from 3 to 10% and 22% CT. If you follow my channel, you might have seen my recent video about 88 Energy, ticker EEENF. They too are a junior oil exploration company, drilling in the Alaska North Slope region. In that video we mentioned that they are drilling near Prudhoe Bay, which is the USA's most prolific and largest oil field. To put this in perspective, Prudhoe Bay is approximately 213,000 acres, and today it has produced over 15 million barrels of oil. The Kavango Basin that ReconAfrica has the rights to is 8.5 million acres. That's nearly 40 times the size in acreage, and has an expected production potential of somewhere between 66 and 120 billion barrels. There's also several other oil companies exploring many areas near this area, such as ExxonMobil and Shell, and all the high quality infrastructure is already in place. So in recent news, Recon provides corporate update. So as we can see here from this update, Recon management acknowledged that the 6-2 well was successful, and now the rig and equipment has been moved 10 miles north to the second drill site, where the drilling is to commence on May 1st. This is designed to evaluate petroleum systems discovered in the first well in an area of maximum thickness. And as we can see here from yesterday's update, the drilling has now begun. If the results of this are positive like the last well, we could see a similar jump in share price to the one experienced in mid-April, because the drill site would confirm the existence of the potential we already know is there. In other news at Recon and Renaissance Oil Corp are pleased to announce that they have entered into a letter of intent where ReconAfrica will acquire all the issued and outstanding common shares and convertible securities of Reconnaissance. ReconAfrica will issue to each holder of Renaissance share 0.046 of a common share of ReconAfrica, which represents a 1.45% premium over the April 16 closing price of $7.62. The terms of the transaction value Renaissance at 35 cents per share, or approximately 155 million. Following the completion of the transaction, the current shareholders will hold approximately 20.3 million shares, or 11.36 of the fully diluted issued and outstanding shares of ReconAfrica. With ReconAfrica's recent drilling success in the Kavango Basin, the company has determined it is in the best interest of shareholders to consolidate all interests. Renaissance Oil's right to acquire 50% working interest in the 2.2 million acres in the eastern part of the Kavango Basin is potentially very valuable to ReconAfrica as it pursues the development of conventional resources in the basin. Consolidating all interests in the Kavango Basin to 8.5 million acres, which covers the entire sedimentary basin, is an attractive transaction for both Recon and Renaissance. The combined company will solely focus on the development of the deep Kavango Basin while exploring strategic alternatives for the Mexican assets. Then, only yesterday, ReconAfrica announces $25 million bought deal financing. ReconAfrica is pleased to announce that it has entered into an agreement with Hayward Securities as underwriter, pursuant to which the underwriter has agreed to buy on a bought deal basis 2.5 million units for $9.50 each, for gross proceeds of 25 million Canadian, or roughly $20 million US. Each unit will consist of one common share and half a share purchase warrant. Each warrant will entitle the holder to acquire one share at a price of $14 for a period of 3 years from the closing of the offering, so that's May 26, 2024. The warrants will be subject to acceleration of the expiry date to a date 30 calendar days following notice in the event that the moving average price equals or exceeds $20 for any period of 20 consecutive days. So let's think about this very basically. This company, Hayward Securities, is buying $25 million worth of Recon at a price that is only marginally below the current market price. They have the option to buy another 1.3 million shares at $14 each at any time over the next 3 years, but if the price goes above $20 for 20 consecutive days, then Recon can effectively make Hayward either exercise these warrants or let them expire. After market close on May 6th, Recon upsized the bought deal by 50% to 3.7 million units. All the rest of the terms remain the same, but this shows the level of potential that's here, and in my opinion, I would not be surprised if the share price continues up. Also, looking here at this news article I found just the other day, the oil field that ReconAfrica wants to harness is immense. The firm has leased more than 13,000 square miles, or some 30,000 square kilometers of land in Namibia and neighboring Botswana. The find, potentially containing 12 billion barrels of oil, could be worth billions of dollars, and some experts believe the oil reserves here could be even bigger. We know we've discovered a new sedimentary basin. It's up to 35,000 feet deep, and it's a large and very expansive basin. I'll put links to all these articles in the description for anyone who wants to keep digging into Recon. So let's take a look at the management team. JJ Park is the chairman and director. Mr. Park is an energy lawyer with over 35 years of experience advising on oil and gas projects. Mr. Park has advised oil companies, governments, state oil companies and investors on upstream oil and gas transactions, contracts, laws and regulations in over 50 countries. He has served as director or officer of a number of oil and gas companies with operations in Africa, including as chairman and director of Voyager Oil and Gas Corporation, and as a director of RECO Energy, with oil producing assets in Doba Basin of Chad, acquired by Glencore International. He has advised oil and gas companies regarding petroleum operations in multiple African states. This guy is incredibly experienced in both the oil industry and the exploration of oil on the continent of Africa. CEO Scott Evans. Scott Evans is an energy industry leader with a combined 35 years of experience with Exxon, Landmark Graphics and Halliburton. In his last position, Mr. Evans served as Vice President of Halliburton's Integrated Asset Management and Technical Consultant Organizations, where he grew production from 20k to over 100k barrels of oil equivalent per day, creating the equivalent of a mid-cap upstream oil company. Mr. Evans is experienced in both US plays and internationally in countries such as Algeria, Kuwait, Mexico. He is an expert in new resource development. Dr. Granath is a director of ReconAfrica and a member of the company's technical team. He holds a PhD in geology and a BS and MS from the University of Illinois. Dr. Granath is a structural geologist with extensive knowledge in African petroleum exploration. His expertise lies in seismic interpretation, and integration with structural analysis, factual analysis, regional synthesis, and prospect and play evaluation. Dr. Grant spent 18 years with Conoco International in research, international exploration, and new ventures. Subsequently, he has advised many countries on structural geology and tectonics as applied to exploration problems, and has worked on projects in over 40 countries around the world. The full list of directors and officers, as well as the full technical team, can be seen on the company's website. They are hugely experienced in both oil and gas industry and exploration on the continent of Africa. So let's look at the most recently available financials, which are up to December 2020 and are audited by Deloitte. So before we look at the financial statements, keep in mind that it's usual to see massive liabilities in this type of company before any revenues are recognised. Looking at the balance sheet as of December 2020, we can see the total assets amounts to 30 million, with liabilities amounting to 1.9 million. That's a ratio of over 15:1, which is down from a ratio of 26:1 in September 2020, but it's still incredible. Importantly, assets is largely made up of cash amounting to 6.8 million, which is down significantly from last quarter's cash of 18 million, but is still 3 times greater than the cash position at December 19. And when we add in the cash that will be generated from the bought financing deal, this gives Recon another 25 million to add, which leaves the balance sheet in a very healthy position going forward. When we look at the income statement, we can see here that the company has not recognised any revenue for the year ended December 2020 or the previous year. This gives us a total net loss of $7.4 million for the year. It's worth noting here that all these figures are up to December 2020, and as far as I'm concerned, the income statement is largely irrelevant at this point as the company has no income of note. The balance sheet is what's important here, and to see a healthy cash balance is vital. Now, as we've seen, there's been a lot of volatility in the share price at Recon over the past few months. The share price dropped significantly from around $3.50 in February down to $2 at the start of March. This could be due in part to an announcement from the company on the 10th of February for the early expiration of common share purchase warrants, and by March 25th this had been finalised, adding a further 34 million to the company's balance sheet. Between this 34 million and the 25 million announced yesterday, this gives Recon a fantastic cash runway for any future expenses. All these figures are in Canadian dollars. When we look at the chart over the past 3 months, we can see that Recon Energy has been on a steady rise. From under 30 cents back in April of last year, it rose slowly up to 70 cents in November. Then from November to December it rose rapidly, reaching heights of around 170 before consolidating. Then over the space of 2 weeks in January, the share price rose over 100% to over $4 before dropping back and sitting in the $2 range until here on the 15th of April. The stock jumped from $2.70 to $4.90 before finishing the day around $4. Then over the next 4 days it proceeded to rise rapidly, gaining about 100%, hitting $8. We can see here that there was a huge increase in volume over this time period. Then from the 19th to the 23rd of April, the share price dropped back again to $5 and has been increasing steady ever since. Personally, I much prefer to see a stock price increasing slowly and steady like it has over the past few weeks, rather than a big spike and dip like the dip we've seen from the 15th to the 22nd of April. These huge quick gains, where we see over 100% in a matter of days, are usually followed by a large sell-off as a lot of investors or day traders take profits. The slow and steady gain is much more sustainable. And as we can see here, we have been moving in this upward channel for the last 2 weeks. And with news regarding the drilling surely coming soon, this could prove to be a very powerful catalyst to drive the share price even higher. Considering the success that we had with the first well, I am hopeful and also expecting very positive results from the drilling of the second well. We should get news of this very soon, and then after that they have planned to drill a third well, before a vertical seismic profile, or VSP, will be run to enable the most accurate well data, and this is scheduled to commence in June 2021. So guys, that brings us to the end of the video. Before I give you my final thoughts on ReconAfrica, what is your price target? Leave a comment down below, I'm interested to hear what you think. I hope you enjoyed this content, drop it a like if you did. It really helps the video get out and be seen by more people. If you've watched all the way through, then fair play. I hope I've shared some information with you that you weren't already aware of, and I hope you found value in this video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and bell notification. So what do I think? First, I want to say I think it's an exciting time for Recon. The progress they have made over the past month alone has been spectacular, and we've seen this in the share price going from less than $4 to over $8. From an investing point of view, these types of companies are always risky, where you have mass investment before you see any revenues. From my perspective, I have never seen this as the type of stock to swing trade or for the short term, and I think that huge spikes and then a major pullback last month has probably shaken out most of the short term and day traders. I still feel the real profits here are to be made in the long hold. Although this is not without risk, I do think this is a fantastic opportunity to buy into the company. With the balance sheet as strong as it is at the moment and the share dilution having already been done, I would be much happier investing in this company now than a couple of months ago, even after it has risen so much. I think that any positive news that will emerge from the second drilling could have a major effect on the share price and could potentially push it up multiple times. Again though, some negative news could have an adverse effect. In the long run, costs could begin to build up, although the company has a fantastic cash runway into the foreseeable future. Overall, I would say at the moment it's a lower risk, high reward play. So please guys, only invest money that you can afford to lose. As always, this is just my opinion, and if anyone's thinking about buying into this stock, I encourage you to do your own research. As I said before, I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Thanks for watching the video. What are your thoughts on the future of ReconAfrica? Catch you in the next one.